Hello, welcome. How y'all doing? Welcome to my studio. I'm Lars Eric Robinson. My company is Lars Arts, All Around Artainment. Today, as an illustrator, you have to, before you start a project, you come up with a lot of ideas and a lot of compositions before you do your final piece, which we have up top here. So the first steps you usually do is come up with your rough sketch ideas. And here's some different ideas of how I came up with my sketches and how we should have the composition laid out. So these are usually 3x5s, depending on what the size of your image is. They're blown down exactly from what that is. So here's an idea of, I still kept the same idea that I have up here with the figure on top of the building. And the whole idea behind this piece is that aliens want to take something back to their planet. And what I did is I had the aliens take back light bulbs. At the same time, I tried to include an advertising in the piece. Just maybe they could use it somehow in illustration. This was a study piece that I did when I was in art school. So the first things that you learn when you're in art school is you come up with your idea. You come up with a rough sketch idea. So my teacher, when I was talking to him, liked this idea with him standing on top of the building and these things flying up. Instead of having a light bulb sucking into another big light bulb ship, he said, why don't you just focus on having these things thrown up out of the window and thrown up on top of the roof where they're taking all these light bulbs. So this is the sketch you decided on. From there, you go and you do the real darks and the real whites. You push the contrast. Like if you had a Photoshop, you would push the darks real dark and push the whites away. So you have all the shapes like that. And you want to think about silhouettes. So it has an interesting shape of silhouettes. And then you can see how the composition would be. And finally, you do more intense studies of what you want the main pieces to be, where the main characters are. So I did some studies of the characters that are on top of the building up there. So if you zoom in on just this part right here, you'll see the characters are on top of the roof. And then I carried that into the main characters that I have in the final piece on top. So I always look at this piece, and I like to scan it in and actually color it because it's a really amazing piece. It's a little busy in black and white. But I believe if I added some color to it, it'll really make it pop out. So nowadays, I like to scan my pieces in and color in Photoshop, and it comes out real nice and clean. All right, so that gives you an example of what we go through to get to a final piece. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.